Welcome. Welcome to the Bounce Back Empowerment Conference. Now say this with me. Bounce back. Yes, I can. Unstoppable. Unstoppable, free, and fearless. Unshakable.
Bounce back, bounce back. Unbreakable, unshakable, nothing stops you in your track. Bounce back, bounce back. Uplifted, inspired, feel your positive unpack.
Never, ever. Never giving up. Encouraged, uplifted, inspired, empowered, motivated.
Bounce back, bounce back. Unbreakable, unshakable, nothing stops you in your track. Bounce back, bounce back. Uplifted, inspired, feel your positive unpack.
Yes, yes, yes I can. Yes I will. Yes I believe. Yes, yes, yes. Heart, be still.
Bounce back, bounce back. Unbreakable, unshakable, nothing stops you in your track. Bounce back, bounce back. Uplifted, inspired, feel your positive unpack.
Bounce back, bounce back, bounce back, bounce back.
I am so happy to welcome our first presenter. We are going right on in. So with that, before I do that, though, I want to encourage you, if you want to share whatever you wrote down or said in your head, whatever that is that you seek for today, I would love for you to share in the chat. It's going to be great for the other presenters to see that. It's going to be good for others so that we can make sure that we are conspiring with the universe, conspiring with God and everything out there to ensure that we make sure that you get that thing. So if you said hope or inspiration, whatever that word is, that phrase, please do drop it in the chat. Yes, I'm seeing new awareness and expansion. Beautiful. Continue to drop that in the chat. And so allowing everybody to see and share that with you. And with that being said, I'm so excited, so very excited to welcome our first presenter today, Miss Natasha Ickes-Saman. She's going to be talking about today why the way we have been thinking about motivation is all wrong. This topic is really going to call us out on how we've been perceiving motivation. And so let me give a little background on her. So Natasha, she's a salon owner. She's a 2 times bestseller. She's an award-winning author, TEDx speaker. I mean, she's all over the world. I mean, like all over the place, which is amazing. She's been featured in multiple publications from Muna Lucci, Bridal to the LA Tribune, Hudson Weekly, and she was a recipient of the 2019 Certificate of Recognition from the California Senate. So this woman has been around the world and back in her experiences. She moved from a troubled childhood of addiction, and she even had 2 attempts to take her own life on the journey. But she returned to a path of finding strength, breaking through those insurmountable obstacles, and becoming the person she's always wanted to be. This successful salon owner, a loving mother, a loving wife. And outside of that, she takes the time to also coach people. And she provides regular free haircuts to homeless shelters through the Bay Area. Her passion is to empower others and to make the world a better place for everyone. Without further ado, I want to welcome the wonderful Natasha to take the stage.
Thank you so much. Thank you. It has been amazing already. That meditation had me breathing in everything positive I want to receive and breathing out all negativity, all doubts, everything I want to let go of. I hope you guys are enjoying this morning because I am over here fired up. I've been taking notes already. I got my little acronym going. I am excited to be with you. And it's so funny because some of the things that have already been said, even though we just started, are so in alignment with what I'm going to talk about today. Even the theme of the bounce back, right? We all, raise your hand if you got something you need to bounce back from. We all have been through something. These last few years have been a lot. There have been a lot of good, but it's been a roller coaster of emotion. It's been difficult. We've been forced to reevaluate pretty much everything, right? During COVID, a lot of us had to really sit down and look at our careers, look at our lives, look at our relationships and see, are we in alignment with who we want to be? Are we in alignment with where we're trying to go? And can we really continue on that path in the most powerful and effective way possible? So one of the things that Dr. Stem touched on that I absolutely love about the end of the year, right, is that the new year brings this very special energy. There's something about stepping into the new year that so many of us have these new goals, right? They say that most of the people that are signing up for dating sites, it's from December to February. Most of the new signups at the gym are in January and February, right? There's something about the new year where we really are motivated to be the best possible version of ourselves. But what's also happening is that people are falling off in March and April. I think 50% of new businesses that are started, they end up failing. Not because of anything lacking from the person that's starting the business, but because so often people are lacking the tools that are necessary to see their dreams to fruition. Why? Well, one of the main reasons is that people are waiting to feel motivated in order to take action on their goals, right? And so entrepreneurs, we're very passion driven. Women in general, right? We're pouring into our spouses, into our children, into our businesses, but often forgetting to pour into ourselves. And so a huge part of staying consistent and actually following through on these really big, these really large goals is figuring out how to stay motivated and how to take consistent action to follow through on your goals, even when the mood has left, right? So how do we generate that self-motivation? How do we stay consistent even when life gets tough? Now I'm going to share with you guys a very simple, but very effective 4-step process that I've been using, that my clients use. I teach a 90-day book writing course. And if you guys don't know, writing a book, I think they said only 2% of people that actually want to write a book go through with it. And I won't say it's 100% because it's not. But right now I have about a 75% success rate in my book writing course. And it's because, yes, I teach you how to write the book, but I'm teaching you these skills so that you can continue to stay focused and stay motivated, even when you don't feel like it. So you guys got a little bit of my background, but it's important I share just a little bit more in a little bit of the time that we have so you can really understand how I came up with this and why it became effective for me and the people that I work with. So as a child, I really suffered with my self-esteem. My mom was in and out of my life. She lived in motels, so it just wasn't a very consistent or healthy situation. And as a kid, I always say it's hard to see the value in yourself when your parents don't see it in you. And even adults can understand that. Maybe you're in a relationship where you've been abused or talked down to or consistently cheated on, and you start to kind of diminish a little bit and start to kind of lack that sense of self-worth. And so for me, by the time I was 9, I had my first suicide attempt. And then at 16, I had another attempt, which actually left me hospitalized. And I made a decision in there for a variety of reasons I don't have time to get into, but I made a decision in there that that would be the last time that I would try to take my own life. But choosing not to die didn't mean that I knew how to live. And so my next few years were spent homeless and addicted. I was sleeping on buses and in coffee shops, and it was absolutely the lowest point of my life. I didn't feel motivated. I didn't see a way out. I didn't think I could be successful. I had dreams kind of buried within me that I wanted to achieve, and they weren't even that specific. I just wanted the basics. I wanted to feel good. I wanted to feel loved. I wanted to feel happy. And yes, I wanted money. I was homeless, right? I wanted to be able to take care of myself. And so I ended up getting pregnant. My now ex-husband, but still great friends, ended up getting pregnant. And I knew that I had to change my life, or she was going to be brought into the same cycle that I was living in. And so I had to figure out, how do I take steps? How do I follow through on these goals? How do I become successful even when I don't see a way out? And so I implemented what I'm going to share with you guys today. And that took me to, at 26, I had opened my own hair salon. And I remember at 20, I was still homeless, still addicted, still struggling. I had my daughter at 21. By the time I was 26, I opened my own hair salon. I was making over 6 figures the first year. Within a few years, as was mentioned earlier, we started giving back in the community. We do tons of events every month, providing free haircuts in shelters and hospitals for children who are terminally ill and so forth. And then after that, years went on and COVID happened. And so I was happy. The salon was going well. It had been running now for 10 years. It was successful. And then I was forced to sit down. And I'm like, things are good, but do I really feel like I'm fully in alignment with where God has called me to be? And when I say that, I'm not saying my way is the only way. I am open to everybody's belief. That's just what I call them. Whatever you call them, it's all good. I never want to alienate anybody with these statements. But for me, I felt like, yes, life is good, but there's something more deep in my spirit, and I don't even know exactly what it is, but I feel it, and I need to take action. I need to figure out what that thing is. What am I being called to do? And I had what I call this divine download. It's when God or the universe just drops something in your spirit. And I said, ooh, I think I'm supposed to write a book. Terrified. That's not what I've been doing. I haven't been sitting and writing. I didn't even own a laptop, right? Because I've been in the salon all the time. What am I going to do? So I decided to write this book. And I did it. And I was scared and I was terrified. And I put it out to the world. And it was so vulnerable. I was so terrified about how it would be received. And before I knew it, it literally won, at this point now, 4 awards. It led to me being invited to speak on a TEDx stage. I'm very nervous. Like, I don't even usually wear t-shirts because I'm a sweater. Like, I need a tank top. Because if I get in front of people, my palms are sweating. Like, this is not what I naturally do. But I had to take me out of it and look at what God called me to do and understand that I won't connect with everybody. But if one person gets one thing from my story, I'm doing what I was supposed to do. And so that opened up this whole new world for me. And I share that with you so that I'm not getting up here saying, oh, I'm super successful and follow my steps. I am successful and I still have difficult moments. I'm successful and I still get depressed. I'm successful and I still struggle. And I implement what I'm going to share with you today to move through those times, to shorten the gap from where I am to where I'm trying to go. So this process is to help you stay motivated so you can take action, consistent action, and follow through on your goals to get you to where you are trying to be in record time. It is a 4-step process. Number 1, when life happens, let yourself have the pity party. Like, we sometimes are almost, I can't think of the exact word for it, but almost trying so hard to be positive, right? We're getting online and everything is good. Everything is great, but we don't allow ourselves to be human and feel those emotions. And we stuff it down and we stuff it down. And then one day we break. Either you fall back into drinking, or you yell and scream at your kids, or you give up on your dreams because you have put unrealistic and superhuman expectations on your back that nobody can live up to. So give yourself time to feel those emotions. Give yourself time to have the pity party. However, the key component to this one is putting a time limit on it. And that depends on what you're going through. So, for example, when I was starting my salon, I had somebody run off with thousands of dollars, didn't finish what he was supposed to do. And I was upset. I didn't have the money in my account. I didn't know what I was going to do. And I didn't feel like being proactive. I didn't feel like going out there and making things happen. So I literally whined, cried, and complained for 3 days. But that was my time limit. And then on day 4, because he didn't finish my floors, I said, well, I have enough money to get those little peel and stick floors from Home Depot. They aren't the best thing, but they'll look good. And I can go in there and lay those down myself, right? So have your pity party and put a time limit on that. That's very, very important. And let me tell you guys before I step into number 2, I'm not going to share anything that is going to be like, I have to read 4 books to understand this. No, it's simple enough to share it with your 12-year-old, but effective enough to change your life and to use from the age of 10 to 80. Okay, so number 2, remembering your big vision and your why. What is your big vision? So when things are happening, I've had my pity party, I've cried, I've complained, and now my time is up. Let me go back to the basics. Let me meditate. Let me get in tune with myself. Let me remember, what is my big vision? What am I going for? That could be creating a closer bond with you and your child. That could be launching your business. That could be, speaking on a TEDx stage. What is my vision? And then number 3 is going to be breaking down those goals. You guys, this is a huge reason why people do not follow through, is because they have this big idea. I want to start a big business. I want to make $1 million. And they have not created a roadmap to get there. If you're in California, you hop in your car and you want to drive to New York, and you don't have your GPS, you don't have the steps, and you don't know how you're going to get there, you may eventually land in New York, but I promise you it's going to take you years longer than it would have taken you if you knew exactly where you were supposed to go. So that even when you detour, even when you pop a tire, even when you run out of gas, you can still get back in alignment and get back to where you're trying to go. So a quick example, I know I only have a few more minutes. Quick example would be, let's say your goal is to launch a new business. All right, cool. What are the components that you need to do that? One part is getting clients, right? Another part would be maybe registering your business. Another part may be creating a digital footprint. And so you're going to break those down to even smaller goals. I need to create a website. I need to post once a week. I need to get 1 new client per week, right? So breaking those down into very small goals so that you can actually achieve them, feel better, and be motivated to continue to do it. I'll tell you guys, for anybody here who wants to share their story or speak on a TEDx stage, the average number of applications to get accepted is 86. So you don't just wake up one day and you get accepted. That can feel overwhelming. It's like a year of prep work. But what can I do? This week I can apply to 2. Next week I can apply to 4. So you can use these tools for whatever your goals are. You want to get closer to your spouse. Maybe once a week we're going to have a date night. Maybe every Sunday we're going to sit and look at each other and just talk. You can do this with your kids too. So that is one of the most important parts, is breaking it down into small goals that you can actually go after. And number 4 ties into that. It's just taking action. Who just said being laser focused? There is the power of 1. When you focus on something, when you're clear on what you want, the universe will conspire to help make it happen. So every single day, even if you're exhausted, I can spend 10 minutes and I can go after my goals. I can spend 5 minutes and create a post that's going to let people know who I am online, so that they then trust me. They know who I am, and they know if we are aligned and if they want to purchase from me, because it's not some weird, icky sales. It's just, this is who I am. This is the solution I have for your problem. Either you want it or you don't. It's all good. I'm not pushing myself on anybody. Me and my husband were going through a rough patch. We've now been together 10 years. Husband number 2. We were going through a rough patch a few years ago. And it was like, okay, what can I do? Every day we can talk for 10 minutes and just be open and be raw and be authentic. And those conversations took us to a new level. So yes, you need to be clear. Yes, you need to break down your goals, but none of that is going to work if you don't take action. I spoke at a seminar last week, faith-based leaders, pastors, church folks, and I said, I'm not trying to hurt no feelings, but guess what? Faith without works is dead. Do not allow your faith, or do not use your faith as an excuse to be lazy. Do not sit back and say the universe is going to drop this in my lap. Do not sit back and just say, well, God's going to work it out. He is not, if you don't get up and take action to move towards your goals in an effective manner. So we don't have time to go all the way into all the stuff I want to share with you. So my free giveaway, it's called The Art of Manifestation. Everybody should have access to it. And it breaks this down in, I think it's 3 or 4 small videos. I show you the vision board method that actually works. This is just a completely free offer. I'm not trying to sell you on anything, but it shows you how to implement this and use this for any goal that you want to achieve. As I wrap up in my last 30 seconds with you guys, what do you want to bounce back from? What do you want to create? Who do you want to be? And the biggest question is, what are you willing to do to get there? Because if you sit back and you think about it and you write about it in your journal and you complain to your friends and you fuss to your husband, but you don't create a plan and then follow your plan, nothing is going to change. But if you implement these very simple steps, I promise you in 6 months and a year, your life will look very different than it does today. Thank you for taking some time with me, you guys, and I can't wait to hear the rest of the speakers.
you.